Hello everyone. Now let's talk about third normal form. Third normal form is based on a special dependency known as transitive dependency. If we have a functional dependency x to y in a relation schema R, this x to y is known as a transitive dependency if there exists a set of attributes z in R that is neither a candidate key or a subset of any other key of R, and we have functional dependency x to z and z to y hold. So the main idea is of transitive dependency that we have a functional dependency x to z and z to y, and z is not part of any key. Alright, just a non-prime attribute. Z is a set of non-prime attribute. Alright, in that case, after this functional dependency, if we have a functional dependency x to y, okay, then x to y is known as a transitive dependency. So let's see an example in this table. So in this table, looks like we have a functional dependency that we have a dependency from SSN to ename, bdate and address and dnumber. Okay, so in this table SSN is the primary key, so obviously let's see all other attributes are actually functionally dependent on SSN. Okay, now we have another dependency where dname and dmanager SSN is dependent on dnumber. Okay, so dname and dmanager SSN is dependent on dnumber. Again, dnumber depends on SSN. Okay, and dname dmanager SSN is also depends on SSN. So let's just show you. So we have a functional dependency that SSN determines the value of dnumber. Okay, so dnumber determines the value of okay, so we can just also consider only one attribute from here. Let's just consider only one attribute, dmanager SSN. Okay, all right. Now SSN to dnumber, dnumber to dmanager SSN, and also as SSN is the primary key, this functional dependency also hold SSN to okay, dmanager SSN, and this one is a transitive dependency. Okay, so this one is transitive dependency because I have here SSN to dnumber, dnumber to dmanager SSN, and dmanager SSN dmanager SSN and dmanager SSN is dependent on SSN. So I have SSN to dmanager SSN. Okay, now in this table dmanager in this table dnumber, which is actually z in this example, dnumber is not part of any primary key or any candidate key. Okay, so in this example dnumber is not part of any key, so that's why this one is SSN to dmanager SSN is a transitive dependency. Okay, so at the same time you can also find out that SSN to dname, that's also a transitive dependency because SSN determines the value of dnumber and dnumber determines the value of dname. Okay, so and dnumber is not part of any primary key or any candidate key, so SSN to dname is also a transitive dependency. Okay, so third normal form is based on the concept of transitive dependency. So according to the court's original definition, a relation schema R is in 3NF. First of all, if it has to satisfy second normal form, and then no non-prime attribute of R is transitively dependent on the primary key. So any non-prime attribute cannot be uh, transitively dependent on the primary key. So in this example, dmanager SSN, okay, dmanager SSN is not a prime attribute, okay, is a non-prime attribute, but it is transitively dependent on SSN. And in this table, dname is not also a prime attribute, it's a non-prime attribute, and this is transitively dependent on SSN. So I can say that this employee department is not in third normal form. Okay, now in this relation, this is in second normal form. Why is that? Because in our primary key we have only one attribute, so there is no partial dependency. Okay, no non-prime attribute is partially dependent on the primary key. All right, so you can easily find out actually if your table has only one attribute in your primary key, all right, then that means actually every attribute is fully functionally dependent on the primary key, means it is in second normal form. Okay, now here it's not in the third normal form. Okay, because dmanager SSN and also dname, they are transitively dependent on the SSN. Okay, and they are transitively dependent on the SSN via d number, and d number is not also part of any key attribute. Okay, so then the next step would be we have to normalize them into third normal form. So we have to normalize them in such a way, means we have to decompose the table so that in the decomposed table there is no transitive dependency. Okay, so what actually we are going to do, we are going to find out that what is the via attribute by which they are transitively dependent. So this is the attribute. Okay, this is the attribute via which dname and dmanager SSN is transitively dependent on SSN. So we are going to actually decompose this table based on this attribute, like that. Okay, because if I do that, in that case, just look at that. Here no table, no relation has a transitive dependency. Okay, because in this relation there is no transitive dependency. Okay, and in this relation also dname and dmanager SSN only depends on d number. Okay, there is no transitive dependency. Also we have to make sure all of the tables should have a appropriate primary key. All right, so in the next segment we are going to talk about just a general definition of second and third normal form. Okay, and we are going to see a couple of more examples.